Hello everybody and welcome to the video introduction to the HyMoCARES framework. During the HyMoCARES project, we developed a framework which is an easy-to-use instrument aiming to assist stakeholders and decision managers in qualitatively assess the effects of management actions on river ecosystem services and suggesting which tools can be applied to quantify these effects. The target groups for which the framework might be useful and interesting range from public authorities at all levels to NGOs and educational centers. The concept of the framework takes the lead from the cascade model using the ecosystem services studies, which assumes that any effect on processes and functions might have consequences on ecosystem services and the benefits that they produce. Management actions, alteration or restoration, are affecting different river functions, which in turn generate positive or negative effects on the typical ecosystem services provided by rivers and their floodplains. Hence, the identification of the relevant processes and functions affecting the ecosystem services and of the connection between the actions, functions, and ecosystem services represents a key step to understand the functional dependencies of ecosystem services on river hydromorphology. In addition, the framework summarizes the most important outputs of the project by providing synthetic descriptions, references, graphs, videos, and images concerning actions, river functions, and ecosystem services. The framework consists in three groups of nodes that are connected among them and between groups. These three groups are management actions, river hydromorphological and ecological functions, and ecosystem services. You can select one of the elements of these groups by clicking on their name or clicking on the name in the framework. By clicking, a window with the description of the node appears on the screen. Connections among nodes are the core of the framework. They have been assessed in a series of workshops and represent the expert opinion of the project partnership. Hence, a connection is drawn in the framework if the project partnership considers that the nodes are connected among them. By clicking on each connection, the browser opens a window with a description of the connection and a series of tools, literature works, guidelines that might be applied to quantify the relationship. A description of every tool is available by clicking on the corresponding name. In the tool description box, the user finds the name, a brief description, the relevant additional information, which data can be used to apply the tool, which target groups are mostly interested by this tool, and, when is possible, an example of the output of the tools. As an example, we briefly present part of the framework about the removal of bank protection. By selecting the action, the browser opens a window with the description of the action, and the network reshapes with the action in the middle, surrounded by the hydromorphological functions, and the ecosystem services as external nodes of the network. Each node can be moved to better visualize its single connection. For many of these connections, tools to quantify the relationship are available. For example, the effects of removal of bank protection on lateral connectivity might be quantified by using the widest tool. The box can be manually resized to visualize the contents. Removing the bank protection influences directly the lateral connectivity. which in turn influences other functions. These effects are represented by the blue link in the network. For example, lateral connectivity influences the river morphology because it affects river dynamics, especially during floods, thus triggering morphological changes. These morphological changes diversifies the physical habitat and the river and floodplain vegetation community. The vegetation community, especially the riparian vegetation, plays a role in self-purification and reduction of greenhouse gases. Two of the pivotal ecosystem services provided by the floodplains and the rivers. For all these connections, we suggested tools to quantify their relationships. The framework might be used even in the opposite direction. By selecting, for example, the reduction of the greenhouse gases, the stakeholders can identify which restoration actions could affect this ecosystem service. The framework can be used in the initial planning stage of a project to identify management actions that mostly influences river ecosystem services, but can conversely be used to select management actions that might optimize ecosystem services relevant for the stakeholders. This framework will be maintained and updated by the HyMoCARES partnership. For further information, please refer to the HyMoCARES website and the project delivery.